And here we are for yet another unboxing, and this time we have a tiny little car from HPI. This is the NANO TTR. Now, I've unboxed a couple of these tiny little cars in the past from a different brand, and this will be an interesting comparison to see how this one stacks up against those other ones. So this is the box that you get, or that it comes in. You can see it's got the contents of the box here. You got the radio, the car, and the charge cable right there. And then there's a picture of the car on the side there as well. And it gives you some details. So it's a 1/64 scale. It's real steering, so it's got proportional steering. It's got lights. It's got the radio control. It's fully factory assembled. It's two-wheel drive, so it only spins the rear wheels, and of course it's electric. So a very cool looking car, 1969 Ford Mustang. Let's open up the box and have a look at this guy. I have already cut the cable, the label rather, because I needed to get in there and get everything ready. There's some more specs here on the box, so this will kind of give you a bit of an insight as to the assembly of the car and everything else, and what goes on in there. As we open up the box, we have the manual. I believe it's the manual. It's got some information on here about how to charge it up. How to operate the radio. It comes in a few different languages as well. How to turn the lights on and off, how to disassemble the car and service the car, because you can actually change the body on this as well, and a few other bits and pieces. And now over here you can see the car is already at the top, so we'll grab this little guy out of here as best as I can. Comes in this little foam baggy thing, so I'll just see if I can open this up without wrecking it, and we'll have a look at the car. Look at that. How cool does that look? That is a gorgeous color, very well detailed as well. This is a beautiful car. Look at this thing. How nice is it? I love the paint. It's got a little bit of a sparkle to it. That's the underside, and you'll see here, I got to find out exactly what this is for. I know it's a charge port, but that's for something else. So we'll get into this as we go along. And yeah, it's got little rubber tires on there. The on and off switch is just there as well. Very cool looking machine. Let's put that to the side for the time being, and let's have a look at what else we get in the box as we crack everything else open. Here's our radio. So unlike those other little ones that I've unboxed in the past, the radio in those comes in two like sections. You have to put it together. It slides, the top of it slides on. This one comes fully assembled, so it's a full radio, and it's actually not a bad radio either. So nice foam wheel there, feels really good. The springs feel well dampened. The trigger is well weighted as well. Really nice, comfy hold. Batteries go in underneath, and then you've got usual trimmings and everything here. So we've got reverse switches for both throttle and steering. We have EPA for both steering and throttle, and we have steering dual rates there as well. And then we have, which I believe might be our trim buttons just here, forward and back, right and left, bind button just there, power button just there, and then we've got a slider button here, and a couple other little buttons there which we'll play around with and find out what they're all about as well. Putting that to the side, let's see what else we have in here. Our charge cable is there, and that's taped to the bottom of the box. We won't worry about that for now. And that's it. That's everything that you get with one of these. So let me go and have a little bit of a play around with it and just see exactly what everything does and how it all works. And we'll come back and I'll give you a bit of a test drive of it as well. So I've been playing around with this thing a little bit, and I've got a couple of queries to HPI because I don't know, I can't find the answers on this one. One is these little, I don't know what you call them, like little round plates. They look like they're supposed to plug to something, like something's, maybe they're magnetized, they'll plug onto something at some point in the future. Maybe they'll power something. Maybe it's kind of a form of wireless charging where you can sit this on the pad and it'll just charge. I have no idea. I don't know what the purpose of this is. There's nothing in the instructions. So I'm completely blinded by this one. I don't know what it does. The remote is actually a very good remote for this car in particular. I think this is a fantastic choice of remote. The steering feels really good. The throttle feels really responsive, and you know, there's no sort of lag or anything like that going on between the transmitter and the car. From what I can see, the transmitter is definitely appropriate for this particular application. You've got this slider switch here which turns the lights on and off. So you'll see that if I put it in the middle position, the lights come on, and all the way back they stay on as well. Now the way this works is, if you got it off, right, you got the lights off, you put it in the middle position and everything works as per normal. So you go forward, brake, and then you got reverse. And when you steer, there's no indicator lights. Moving it all the way back turns on the indicator lights. So now when I steer, I have my indicators, right? So the other thing to note is that this has proportional steering. So you can see there how nice that is. It's actually very, very accurate, very, very good. The wheels and tires are actually replica wheels and tires in a 1/64th scale rather. And I also found out that this has, from a fully charged battery, you have about 45 minutes runtime with this car, which is insane. So very, very cool that the car looks as good as it does, has all the scale details, and runs for as long as it does as well. On top here, usual trimmings and everything else. Now with our throttle EPA, if I turn down that all the way to 0, I still have throttle, so you can see I can still drive the car and go pretty much full throttle here. You just have to be careful because it does have a little bit of understeer. So the faster you go on with the wheel turned, the wider the turning circle, because it pushes the car out. So if you manage your speed, you can actually do a fairly tight turn, right? But the more I accelerate, you can see the turning circle getting bigger. So you have to be careful when turning this guy, because yeah, if you don't slow down on the turns, you're just going to wash the front end out. So the other thing to take into account is there's a bit of a deadband when you have the throttle all the way down on the EPA. So you can see nothing really happens until about halfway on the trigger. When you turn the throttle EPA all the way to max, that problem goes away, and you now have, you know, almost instant throttle right there, and the car is a lot faster. I'll just turn those indicators off because they're a little bit annoying. So you can see this thing will turn around and do donuts quite easily on the tabletop. No problem at all. It's a really cool little car. It's very fast too. So if you're going to muck around with this thing, make sure you have a big enough table, or you've got a really nice smooth floor that you can play this with, because it's quite a zippy little machine. So there we are. That's the NANO TTR from HPI. Now, just before we wrap this up, I do want to give you a little bit of a size comparison. I'll just turn that off. To the original C65 and C75 cars that I unboxed a little while ago. So here's one of those cars for your comparison there. You can see that this one's quite a few millimeters longer. It's also a fair bit wider, and you've got your wheelbase there, which of course is also going to be a little bit different. So that's the difference between these two. Yeah, I think that also has 2 screws holding everything together. This also has independent suspension on the front and a solid fixed axle on the rear. This one being slightly bigger, I don't know, I'll have to check the speed to see what the speed is between these two, but I think they're very comparable. It's just that this one is just a fraction bigger. Whilst these are, I think these are 172 scale from memory, and this is 164, right? So it makes sense that it is a little tiny bit bigger. The only thing this doesn't have is some underglow lights, whilst this one does have underglow lights, which does make it look really cool. So there we have it. You know, if the price is correct, you got your licensed body, you've got the option to hopefully swap out bodies in the future with these two little brackets here. You have one there and one here. You can undo those and swap out the body shells. I don't know what this is going to be for, so hopefully they'll bring out something cool for that. And yeah, there we have it, the HPI NANO TTR. Big shout out to HPI for sending this one out for review. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll be speaking to you all next time.